open house events are always exciting because you invite customers to come and see some of the new technology that you're about to release in the market. And of course, we have a Drupa just around the corner. And I guess being the new general manager at Koenig Bauer Durst, Daniel, that must be very exciting.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Morten.
Welcome on English.
Thanks so much.
General manager, I think there's been a lot of talk about Koenig Bauer Durst. First of all, it's a joint venture between two very exciting companies, different backgrounds, but still it seems like you have found a extremely good foundation for new technology, right?
Absolutely. Well, the nice thing is that we can definitely benefit from the technology from Koenig Bauer on the one hand and Durst on the other hand. But bear in mind as well that within the joint venture we are also building up our own capabilities. So it's not just taking parts from one company to the other, it's actually building on top of that. So we're standing on the shoulders of giants, if I may use that expression.
You may, and it's interesting because I guess that is also, I mean, with your background and experience from digital print and understanding the market, it must be interesting because coming into a company or companies like the two giants, right, gives you a lot of opportunity. They have an existing market. They have a very well and high repetition in the market. So I guess that helps you getting out to the market a little bit faster, right?
Well, sure. I mean, there are a couple of benefits that we have. One benefit is obviously that we understand the markets. Because in the end, it is about the business of the customer first, and it is only about technology second. And understanding the business means that you need to understand what our printers and converters need to accomplish day in, day out, to have their internal processes working as well as meeting the needs of the brands and the retailers. And for example, Koenig Bauer has been doing that for decades on end. So there we can benefit. If you then look at the Durst side, I mean, that is obviously all about workflow, inkjet technology and the like. So how can you really build flexibility into the production process? Not just the printing part, but all the way from how do you sell, how do you price an article, how do you plan it, how do you rip it, how do you print it, and how do you make sure that you can build it and ship it. So really exciting stuff.
I was thinking because I mean, you're relatively new in the company, you can say, right? And a product like this has been under development for years, right? So are you already, when you see a company like this and talk to your new colleagues and understand, let's say, the scope of what you can do with Koenig Bauer Durst, are you already getting ideas of where you want to be in the future?
Sure. I mean, it doesn't make sense to stand still. And I think we have the foundations there to go very, very aggressively on our roadmap. But again, it's first of all about understanding the needs of our customers. And if you look at, for example, the first presses that are now going into the market, feedback has been very positive so far. That's good. And they're actually standing in very challenging markets with challenging customers. That's good because that really, really helps you. But what are topics that we're thinking about and working on? I mean, speed, for example, is one thing because you can definitely increase speed also on the inkjet presses. It's about substrate flexibility because in the end you want to have a press that can tackle as many substrates as you can. So think about thicknesses, think about laminated papers, metallized papers and the like.
And that's funny you mentioned that because I think that when we are here at the open house and we talk to some of the converters and some of the printing companies here, that is the questions they have, right? Can we print on let's say silver foils? Can we print on, you know, different kind of substrates? And I guess that open house is of course showing what you have, but it's also learning about what the market needs, right?
Sure, we need to have that dialogue. In the end, we do not have all the answers. It's about understanding their needs and then seeing what is and is not possible. So for me, these kind of events are great. I mean, don't get me wrong, Drupa is going to be amazing and it's going to be a really cool show and I think it will offer.
But it's only 11 days of an entire life, right?
It's only 11 days, but during these kind of events, you can really go into the detail and you can more have the personalized discussion, the one-on-one discussion. You can open part of the machine and have an in-depth look. So I really look forward to having these kind of discussions.
So I just have a few more questions. I know you're busy. One thing that I'm a little bit curious about, because you know as well as anybody else that the packaging segment in the market has been a little bit slower adapting new digital technology compared to labels and commercial print. And I was just wondering, is now the time for converters really to look into digital technology?
Definitely look into it. But again, I'm not preaching here that each and everyone should buy a digital press. Because for certain companies, a flexo or offset solution may still be the way to go. But I think you should at the very minimum be aware of what is now possible. And what is possible is to print reliably in digital, very high quality, day in, day out. And also from the software and the workflow part, it is really coming together. So I think that digital is definitely at a point where you can say, you know what, it now has a place in an industrial environment. It's no longer just toying with very short runs, doing maybe a couple of mock-ups. No, you can run production.
One last question, and that is, I promise you, because I know you're busy. Daniel, I mean, Koenig Bauer is also Koenig Bauer Iberica. And I'm asking because I was just thinking that when you have digital capabilities on the printing side, I still think there's a little, let's say, lack in development on the, let's say, on the digital finishing side. Is that something where you also try to collaborate with your, let's say, sister companies across the organization to help them understanding the digital transformation?
No, sure, definitely. Because if you have the flexibility on the printing part, but you lack the flexibility in the finishing part, you may still be suboptimal. So these discussions are going on. I think there's going to be some pretty exciting news looking towards Drupa well on that. So that is definitely part of the journey.
Fantastic. Go and have some lunch with your guest, and thank you for your time here.
Thanks so much, Morten.
Great seeing you again.